with Dan, our Managing Director, to talk a little bit about the history and why of Bench. Dan, can you briefly talk about the background and reason for launching Bench?
Yeah, sure. Bench came about largely because we saw a gap in the market. We felt that currently that clients were being underserved by what we call large consultancy, large agency, large resourcing businesses. We felt that there needed to be an alternative to that. And that broadly people were struggling to find access to particular skill sets in consultants. And we felt that if we could create a conduit for that, we would actually start to close that gap in the market. So the concept of Bench came about, and that's really kind of the rationale behind it, which is to be an alternative to big agency, big consultancy, and big resourcing.
Great, okay. And what role do our parent, St Ives, play in the day-to-day of our business and the future?
So St Ives really important to us. I mean, they're essentially the financial backing of the business. So in terms of helping us get off the ground. But because St Ives is essentially a business that's made up of lots of different consultancies, it's a large group of businesses. It's just that they're already experienced in the kind of setup of businesses or sponsorship of businesses like Bench. So in terms of skills and expertise, financial backing is very important. But actually St Ives is going through its own transformation at the moment. Interestingly, they were a print-based group. They've now sold all the print and now gone through an acquisition phase of which most of the businesses that are there today have been part of. And so it's now very much focused around digital, business consultancy, and analytics. So sort of plays very much into the space that we're in.
We've got some really interesting clients. I thought it would be interesting for you to say a few words about our founding clients who are still great clients of ours today.
Yeah, so we got very lucky right off the bat. I mean, we said there was a gap in the market. There clearly was. We had immediately, within the first couple of months, we had one of Europe's largest airlines as a founding client, and also one of UK's largest grocer retailers. So we were very lucky in that respect. And it was very much driven by that. They had programs that they were struggling with in terms of implementing technology. And they'd got to a point of frustration with some of the existing providers, and they were really looking for somebody to just essentially connect them with the right people to go in and deliver value quickly, and had been through various different pains with other organisations. And right off the bat, we were, even off the first phone call we took with our founding client, we were saving them money, which I think stood us in good stead and continues to stand us in good stead. Yeah, so it was great to have those kind of big names. I always sort of say that we probably slightly choked a little bit on that in the first year because we weren't expecting to do that well out of the blocks. But yeah, no, it's been fantastic.
Can you articulate for us the problem that Bench solves for our clients and to the market?
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, that you can break it into the kind of the core aspects of our business. So we have consulting, software, and then talent. They all solve different challenges. Consulting is quite broad, so we've broken that down into a strapline of think, act, and apply. So think is very much about helping businesses that perhaps are being disrupted by forces in market or being disrupted by themselves, so business silos, etc. It's about helping them understand what that disruption means for them and could mean for them, the cost of that, and then the value of the business change. So it's about articulating that to the business. So in a nutshell, that's helping them build the business case for change in the first place. Act is about doing something about the output of think. So once you've just determined what you need to do, and that's people, process, and technology, Act is about making sure that you implement those things, and so we have a great set of consultants that are focused on delivery of those things. And then apply in consulting is very much about the application of those. So once it's been delivered, once it's stood up, once the change has happened, how do you continue on? And then talent falls very nicely into that in terms of helping clients where perhaps they lack skills or resources, bringing in individuals into their organisation to support and augment the teams that they already have.
Great. Great. One thing I'd add there is around software, and that falls, I would say, into ACT in terms of we have access to great software deals for our clients and our group.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly part of that. It can act in its own right as a line of business for us. We do software resell, which makes us attractive to the vendors and partners we work with, but also to our clients, who sometimes find the whole process of buying software a little bit difficult and difficult to understand how they get the value out of that. So consulting around actual acquisition of software is something that not many people talk about, but it's something that we definitely support on. But yes, it does fall into the delivery side of things, definitely. Yeah.
Great. So you mentioned partners there. That leads on to my next question really nicely, because partners and the relationships we have with our associates and the vendors we work really closely with are the cornerstone of our business. The model is used often, but not perhaps to great success, and I think that's something that we do really well. Can you talk a bit about our business model and partnerships?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the associate partner model for us is key to our success. As I said, being a conduit to the right sets of people and access to the right people in a quick fashion. But the relationship we have with our associates is different, I think, from other organisations, because of the investment we put in each other. They very much see it as a joint partnership, and that's supporting everything through the kind of working with our clients or working with prospects to understand the value of what we do. So they see that as investment on their side, but equally they're niche, granular specialists that are focused on very particular areas. And so sometimes don't have the breadth of which they need to be able to grow their businesses, and so we wrap around them and support them in that fashion. So it is very much a partnership, and the sort of founding associates that we've had from day one have grown with us over time. So they've been successful, and we've been as successful, and we've been successful for each other, which is really fantastic. And those kind of relationships continue to grow, and as we bring new associates in, it's very good to introduce them to people that have already benefited from it, not just from the revenues that are attached to that, but also from the kind of experience that they're getting as an individual business. And I always say we're part of a group, but we also run a mini group within a group because of the associate businesses. So it's definitely a partnership, and it's a two-way street, and the value is huge to clients because they get access to teams of people who know how to deliver particular pieces, rather than having to go out to a contractor market where they're not really sure whether it's credentials, experience. These people are a unit that come together to deliver something very specifically and quickly, so they get to access to value much faster.
Great, thank you. That's really interesting, and if anyone wants to talk any more about any of those elements, then please get in touch. Thanks for talking to me, Dan.